If awakening made you smarter but lonelier, more aware but more anxious, able to see the problems but unable to change them, this isn't because you skipped a step. You skipped the foundation. Awakening isn't about what you see. It's about whether your body can live what you know. And if your nervous system is running on survival mode while your mind is trying to run Enlightenment Software, you're trying to install an operating system on hardware that wasn't built for it. This is about the gap that few speak on, and why insights without embodiment leaves you more stuck than when you started. Now that you're awake, you see it everywhere. The conditioning, the systems, the patterns running through your life and everyone else's. For a brief second, it feels like freedom. And then you notice no one else sees what you're seeing. You can't go back, can't unsee it, or pretend that you don't know. And suddenly you're alone, holding all this awareness with nowhere to put it. Because there's a gap between seeing the matrix and knowing how to live inside reality without losing your mind. Between understanding something intellectually and your body actually believing it's safe to change. Between recognizing a pattern and your nervous system stopping its automatic response. Most awakening content stops at insight. It shows you what to see, yet doesn't teach you how to work with the system that's actually running your life, your nervous system, your subconscious, the hardware underneath all that new awareness. Think of it this way. You've upgraded your software, new perspectives, new frameworks, new language for what's happening. But if your nervous system is still wired for threat, your subconscious is still running protection protocols from when you were 7, if your body still thinks vulnerability equals danger, the new software crashes. It's like installing the latest operating system on a computer from 2005. The insights are there. The understanding is real. But the system keeps crashing because the infrastructure can't support what you're trying to do. You cannot think your way out of a nervous system state. You can't logic yourself into feeling safe, and you cannot transcend unintegrated trauma. The gap between seeing clearly and living differently, it's not a character flaw or spiritual bypassing. It's not that you're even doing anything wrong. It's just missing bridge. And that bridge is built on embodiment, through nervous system literacy, through learning how your subconscious actually operates, not just what it should do, but what it's actually doing right now and why that is. So let's talk about what happens when people skip that bridge. You see it everywhere once you know what to look for. People who woke up but stayed dysregulated, who can name every system of oppression but can't maintain a relationship, who transcended meaning but lost intimacy, who know everything and still suffer the same loops they were in before. This isn't about shaming anybody. I've been there. Most of us have. But there's a pattern worth naming. Awakening without embodiment becomes another form of dissociation. When you reject the body as part of the illusion, when you pathologize emotion as low vibration, when you use spiritual frameworks to avoid feeling what you actually feel, you're not liberating yourself. You're just building a more sophisticated cage. The body isn't the enemy. Emotion isn't weakness. And your subconscious isn't sabotaging you. They're trying to keep you alive using the best and most up-to-date information that they have. And if that information is decades old, if it's based on old threats no longer present, the solution isn't to override them and fight yourself. It's to upgrade them. Next, I'll show you why your problems might actually be intelligent systems trying to tell you something. So why does this happen? Why do smart, aware people keep bypassing their body? Let's look at how change actually works. Conscious insight, that's about 5% of the equation. The other 95%, subconscious. And the subconscious doesn't speak in logic. It speaks in sensation, patterns, association, somatic memories. Your trauma response isn't character flaw. Your addiction patterns aren't moral failures. Your anxiety loops aren't proof you're crazy. They're intelligent systems trying to solve a problem. Your anxiety about public speaking, that's not irrational. That's your nervous system remembering that being seen meant danger at some point. Procrastination isn't laziness. That's your subconscious protecting you from potential failure or criticism. Anxiety is protective intelligence that hasn't been told the war is over. Addiction is a survival strategy misdirected toward the wrong target. Repetition compulsion is your subconscious trying to complete an interrupted pattern. Even your dreams are compressed data, trying to integrate information your waking mind can't process. The moment you stop treating these as bugs to fix and start reading them as maps to decode, that's when the shift happens. Because you're no longer at war with yourself. You're learning the language your internal systems speak. And once you speak that language, you can update all the outdated information. You can complete the interrupted patterns. And you give your nervous system permission to feel safe again. So how do you actually build that bridge? Not through more thinking or more insight. Not through transcending the body or bypassing the nervous system. You re-enter your body with awareness. You learn to notice when your nervous system shifts into survival. You learn to recognize the difference between past threat and present reality. You stop treating your subconscious like an enemy and start treating it like the ally that needs better information. Integrate what was fragmented. Complete what was interrupted. Restore signal where there's only noise. This isn't mystical. It's not even metaphorical. It's neurobiological. And here's what nobody tells you. It's preferred to go slow. Your nervous system has been protecting you for years. It's not going to trust new information overnight. It's important not to force any change. You want to create enough safety that change becomes possible and inevitable. When your nervous system truly feels safe, your executive function comes back online. When your subconscious trusts that you're listening, it stops screaming through symptoms. When your body knows it's no longer under threat, it stops running outdated protection protocols. And when all that happens, you don't just understand the matrix differently. You live differently inside reality. No longer fighting yourself or getting in your own way. You create the relationships, the work, the meaning you actually want because the internal systems that were blocking you are now fully cooperating. So if you've felt more lost after waking up than you did before, you've understood everything intellectually, but nothing truly changed, if you're tired of fighting the same internal battles over and over, you're not alone and you're not broken. You're just now ready for the other half of the equation. Awakening was the beginning. Embodiment is that bridge. And living well without the constant internal war, getting in your own way, creating relationships and work that actually matter, that's the point. In the next video, I'll show you exactly how to decode what your symptoms are trying to tell you. Because once you learn to read the map your body's constantly providing, it changes everything. What symptom or pattern keeps showing up in your life? Drop it in the comments. Your pattern might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And until next time.